So here it is, my 8-month skinny to fit transformation video. Hoping to provide some practical advice to people that are in my shoes, skinny guys who are looking to put on some more weight and muscle in a relatively healthy way. So here I am in month 1, just recovered from getting COVID a second time. And gyms at this point were still completely shut down as COVID was still pretty rampant. Took advantage of this by going on an all-inclusive Mexico trip with some of my roommates where the gyms were open. Was able to get a few workouts in for the first time in about 2 months. But when I got back, pretty much lost everything because kind of fell into the temptations of an all-inclusive resort. But when I got back, gyms were open, so I had this new wave of motivation to hit the gym, do everything correctly, but also having to start back to the basics. But I was more than happy to build myself back up. And it was around this time I also wanted to take my nutrition and diet seriously. So incorporating MyFitnessPal very strictly, tracking my calories, as well as starting to take creatine, were some notable differences I made to my diet. At the same time, posting my progress week by week on the internet gave me a newfound responsibility just to make sure I was dialed in, did everything to the best of my abilities. And fortunately, muscle memory kicked in relatively quickly, and I was able to get back to how I was looking like at the end of December of the previous year. At month 3, started to notice the effects of creatine coming in. My weight shot up dramatically due to the water weight, and placebo or not, felt like creatine was working for me, and I was hitting more strength PRs in the gym and just feeling really good and had some really good momentum. And just when things were going right, I got knocked on my ass with this nasty flu. And this was by far the most sickest I've ever been. Worse than COVID, worse than everything. And that kept me out of the gym for about a week and a half. And had I not been posting videos, I probably would have taken longer to get back. But because I knew I had to update everything every single week, this kept me on the boat and accountable. And I was able to hop back on the train relatively quickly and continue on the progress. Come month 4, after recovering from that flu, I was just super dialed in and I wanted to make as much progress as possible. In addition, it helped that my course load for the semester was not too hectic at all, and my final exam schedule was a breeze. So I really had all the time in the world to, work out, eat, sleep, recover, and basically revolve my whole world and whole life around the gym at the point, which I was just super happy to be doing. And looking back, I really envy these days because I had no morning classes, which meant I never set an alarm to wake up. And I would just rely on my body feeling well rested, and it would wake up naturally once I got 8 or more hours of sleep. In month 5, I moved from Kingston, Ontario to Toronto, Ontario to complete my internship. At this point, moved into a new apartment which had a private gym as well as a sauna and a hot tub. And so I was just living it up, using the amenities, fully zen. And it was a perfect lifestyle, I'd say. I had my work and then I would hit the gym, relax, sauna, go to bed, rinse and repeat. Also snapped this iconic photo that I've yet been able to replicate. Honestly, just had the perfect storm of a good pump, good lighting, good angles, and now is forever my ultimate catfish photo. Month 6 was more or less the same as month 5, except for the fact that I came off of creatine that month, just because I was noticing some hair loss, and to me, it wasn't worth stressing over hair loss over some tiny improvement in how I look. Placebo or not, I decided it wasn't worth the mental strain and stress, so I came off of creatine and continue just to work out, enjoy the summer, explore the city, and really milking those amenities in my apartment. In terms of creatine, sure, it can help, but end of the day, nothing's going to replace hard work and consistency. And month 7 is when I decided to move back to Vancouver for the last 2 months of my internship. Just because we had the option to work from home, I decided it was worthwhile to save some rent as a student. So I was back in Vancouver for a little bit, saw a lot of friends, enjoyed my time for a little bit before fully dedicating to the bulk. Just because I was at home, now, I had the privilege of my mom and grandma making me food, so didn't have to meal prep as much. So I was dedicated to use these next 2 months where I'm at home, the bulk, eat as much as possible, and hit 200 pounds by the end of the year. And the bulk definitely worked. By month 8, I was at 189 pounds, the heaviest I've ever been. Also the strongest I've ever been as well. But same time, getting a little bit chunky at this point. Friends are noticing, family members are noticing. But regardless, I was still dedicated to finish the bulk, at least to hit 200 pounds, just so I have a solid base to cut from come the new year. Little did I know that this would be the strongest and biggest I would get the whole year. And looking back, it was just because I had all the time in the world to work out. Nutrition, eating, sleeping, working out, and no care in the world that allowed me to get this big and this strong. So I'd like to say this is where it ends, the transformation in terms of putting on that weight. Month 8 was my peak. And here's just a side-by-side comparison of what I look like in month 1 versus month 8. There are times where, I had the flu, times where I was having a little bit more fun and not working out as much as I should be. But I think this is a realistic standard of what you could achieve in a span of 8 months, going from someone's my body type, long, lanky, skinny, to a little bit more filled in and bulked up. I'm about 6'1", and I always had trouble putting on weight. And I always thought I ate a lot, but it wasn't until I started tracking my calories, progressively overloading in the gym, and tracking my workouts, then I started to see some results. So this is just proof that you can put on weight as a skinny guy and what can be achieved in 8 months. So if you're wondering what happened after month 8, basically life just got in the way. In September, school started back up. I was also working a full-time job at the same time. And also, it was my last semester at my school, so I just wanted to make sure I was living it up. More importantly, had some health issues pop up. I was feeling super fatigued, dizzy, felt like I couldn't push myself in the gym. And when I got some blood work done, turns out that I have some high cholesterol, liver enzymes, triglycerides, high blood pressure, which really made me reevaluate what I was doing and if bulking up was really healthy for my body. And so I really took a more health-focused approach in the past few months, focusing more on cardio, not force feeding. And if you look back on some of the videos I posted, the diets I was eating were really high in sodium. I love ketchup, microwave chicken nuggets. So as you can imagine, that probably impacted these symptoms somewhat. Moving forward, obviously going to get my health back in check before I consider bulking up again. Now, just some things I wish I knew if I started this whole journey over again. First is calories, especially as a skinny guy. Make sure you're getting enough calories to the point where you're gaining around 2 to 3 pounds a month maximum, and making sure that those foods are healthy and not too high in sodium, salt, and not processed junk food at the end of the day. Second would be progressive overload. So making sure that each workout you're coming out of it stronger than you were the previous workout, even if it just means 1 or 2 extra reps for an exercise. Lastly, recovery. Making sure you're sleeping enough. And say you're coming on 2 hours of sleep, you have a workout scheduled for the day. Rather than try to push through that through a mediocre workout, I'd rather wait, make sure you're fully rested and you have your food intake and calories in before hitting that workout. At the same time, if you're not feeling good, you're dizzy, feeling lightheaded, tired, just listen to your body and take it easy. There's no point in pushing yourself when your body is telling yourself no. All right, so that's a wrap for my Skinny to Fit 8-month transformation. Hopefully someone out there found it entertaining or helpful. As for the future of this channel, like I mentioned, I'm going to be taking a step back and really focusing on my health, getting my blood pressure down, some of the other things on my blood test to more normal levels, as there's not really a point in looking good and big and bulked up if your body's not healthy and your organs are screaming at you. So that's what I'm going to be doing fitness-wise. Also going to be spending the next 6 months in Portugal for an exchange semester. So hard to say what I'm going to be uploading, if at all, on this channel. Maybe some more travel vlogs, maybe fitness later on, surfing videos. Who knows? But a comeback will be in the books soon. So thanks again for all the support, and take it easy.